It is no secret that Bethesda Softworks has become sort of game developing titans, these days releasing hit after hit, originally starting with projects like Gridiron on Atari ST and Home Alone on the NES, and moving up to making the Dishonored games and working on the Wolfenstein series. But of course, Bethesda shot to their most popular through their Elder Scrolls series of games. The Elder Scrolls Arena was the first game in the series made in 1993 for MS-DOS. They continued to release fan favorites in the series. The Elder Scrolls III Morrowind and the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion are critically acclaimed and widely praised open-action adventure RPGs. And I'm sure none of you are stranger to the Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, and its 1, 2, 4 versions. Most recently, the Elder Scrolls Online, with its MMO style and ability to travel all over Tamriel, including Skyrim, Morrowind, Cyrodiil, Somerset, Hammerfell, etc. And at E3, the Elder Scrolls VI was announced, so it is no secret to the popularity of the series. But at E3, Bethesda's other famous RPG series had a new game announced as well. This, of course, being Fallout. Fallout was originally created as top-down open-world RPGs by Interplay Entertainment in 1997, until 2008 when Bethesda got a hold of it and created Fallout 3, a 3D and modern take on the post-apocalyptic shooter with their formula tweaked for the new setting and first-person gunplay. Fallout 3 was a massive success, only to be followed by the fan-favorite Fallout New Vegas in 2010, and by Fallout 4 in 2015, beautifully on the new generation of consoles. And currently, the newest take on the series, Fallout 76, is coming out this fall. For the most part, their identities are rather separate, but when I personally view them, I notice both the similarities and differences in their gameplay styles, because, fundamentally, they are both open-world action-adventure RPGs made by the same developers. I like both series in terms of the games I've played, but I like one more than the other, if the title didn't make that obvious. So, with the Elder Scrolls 6 on the way and Fallout 76, I picked up both series again, and I'm here to tell you why I feel that the Elder Scrolls series is a much more enjoyable and fun experience than the Fallout series. This is why I think the Elder Scrolls is better than Fallout. Note, before I start, 1. Obviously, this is my opinion. You will most certainly disagree with the things I say. If a judgment I make seems quote-unquote unfair, then it's still how I personally feel, and probably won't change that. There will also be plenty of nitpicks, and that comes with opinion, so try to acknowledge that if you disagree with it. 2. Do not think for a single second I dislike Fallout. They are still absolutely stellar games that I do enjoy to play, but this video is simply about why I like to play the Elder Scrolls games more. 3. The games that I will mostly use for reference in this video are listed here below. Just so you know, I'm no expert, but I've played a fair time in these games to judge how I feel about both series. First, Fallout. For me, NPCs didn't interest me in the Fallout series in the slightest, despite a few companions in Fallout 4. I'm looking at you, Macleod and Piper. And of course, Nick. Otherwise, I never had a drive to go out of my way and talk to people. NPCs in Fallout felt more like a burden than anything, just someone I need to suffer through dialogue with just to get to my next quest. I didn't care about people's stories in 3, and in the case of New Vegas, which, seriously, don't kill me because I like the game, I didn't care at all about the info I was forced to get from the people to further my quests. And for goodness sake, Fallout 4 you can barely talk to anyone. You basically only talk to people directly involved with the storyline. Look, half of them don't even have names. They're just called Resident, or in New Vegas, Settler. Other than the completed quest line, talking to NPCs in any of the Fallout games I played felt like a drag on the action and like filler. Other than merchant encounters, which are necessary. Maybe I'm missing the point or something, but even on quest to join the Brotherhood of Steel at the Citadel in Fallout 3, I was so disinterested. I can't remember a single character or a single thing said to me. Now some of these arguments can be leveled against the Elder Scrolls 2, but on the other hand, characters have me invested, and I talk to everyone. Firstly, Oblivion had good reasons to talk to NPCs in the game despite getting a quest. These were rumors and character disposition. Rumors allowed you to find out what was going on in town, learn about relationships and problems between people, even about a guild to join in town. These little features made it feel like a genuine conversation was being had, an interaction in which the info given could lead you to a new adventure, something fresh and something different. Don't get me wrong, Fallout does have that happen, but they are usually minimally found by the few named characters around. In the Elder Scrolls, almost everyone is their own character with their own problem. Disposition was a cool feature as you could gain an NPC's approval and find out information not originally available to you at first, haggle for better prices with merchants, etc. Its manipulation, yes, but it makes the medieval society feel a lot more lively when you can bargain your way into important details and find out intricacies of the world around you. Skyrim definitely dumbed this down, scrapping the disposition system, but rumors for the most part stayed in through the dialogue holes you could find yourself in with almost anyone. Unfortunately, there are many NPCs you cannot talk to. But on the plus side, they all have their own names, no resident here. The ones you can, though, offer mentions of job opportunities, town news, and their stories on how they ended up where they are, or how something ended up the way it is. It's just fascinating how the history of the land unravels through its people, which is exactly how it should be, and what makes it so immersive. Finally, in Elder Scrolls, friendly NPCs will fight a common threat alongside you, and not strictly companions, which I'll finish with in a moment. The men-at-arms at Battlehorn Castle in Oblivion, the guards against dragons in the open-world village in Skyrim, taking down a thief in town, these NPCs have a common cause and will help you take down a tough foe in front of them. And other than a settlement in Fallout 4, I've never seen NPCs fight coinciding against a threat. Only at me for, stealing things. Companions, I will hand over to Fallout then. Companions in the Elder Scrolls are dull swordsmen and women, or archers with no character. Basically spell fodder. And although you can even summon companions through freaking magic, Fallout made me genuinely care about the people fighting alongside me. They had genuine personalities, and your actions affected how they saw you. So, Fallout definitely did better on that front. Factions in Fallout is another category that blended into itself. Every faction in the series are not the same, no, but are, when it comes down to it, people with guns and slightly different but similar motivations. For example, the Brotherhood of Steel wants to assist outsiders and are altruistic. The Commonwealth Minutemen assist citizens and are The good guys, similar. The bad guys, similar. The Enclave works for the government but wants control of everything in the Capital Wasteland. Caesar's Legion is a dictator imperial group, and they want control of oh, well, crap. See what I mean? Other than different outfits and a difference of weapon power, the motives of the good factions and bad factions remain relatively similar in the Fallout series when compared to each other. In that case, I don't really care which I'm a part of because what I'm asked to do is similar. Let me assist people if I choose. You see, the beauty of the Elder Scrolls, in this case most prominently Skyrim, is how the game allows you to decide whether you want to be a hero or a villain. You can cause trouble, steal, kill. There are quests that offer you the option of being selfish, like in My Time of Need, choosing to help Sadi escape or turning her into Nazir and the Alakir for a reward. Or a Daedra's best friend, choosing whether to turn in the rueful axe and helping Barbas, or killing Barbas for the axe as a reward. The game lets you roleplay your own fantasy life, whether as a murderous bandit or the glorious hero of Skyrim. Characters themselves and the pure struggle around me is what pushed me to want to help people and be a hero. Now with that, being part of even the supposedly evil guilds can be considered positive in some ways, and each offer different motives. I'm part of the Dark Brotherhood, the group focused on killing contracts, and the Thieves Guild, a band of thieves with presence and secrecy. And 1, the quests were uniquely different, and 2, overall, a few were done to people who deserved it. Murdering the dastardly Elaine Dufont who destroyed Miri's reputation, or old Graylod the Good, P.S. she wasn't, to help cease the pain of an orphan boy. The Thieves Guild is probably the greater evil because they are mainly for personal. You can take each faction as a part of you, not just the bad ones but the beneficial ones too, like the College of Winterhold devoted to arcane knowledge, or the Stormcloaks. Goodness is questionable.
Ulfric rides in, murders the High King, and Rogvir lets him ride right back out.
Helping to liberate Skyrim of the Empire. The Blades in Oblivion protecting the throne. You can become Thane of cities in Skyrim by assisting the citizens. Each faction is unique and comes with its own perks, abilities, and safe houses. This variety in motivation and vast variety in opportunities presented is what makes the faction system in Elder Scrolls so much better than Fallout, giving actual reward for being a hero. Fallout has a lot of awesome weapons and things to buy, like the 15,000 cap rocket launcher. How much do I have? Oh no. Money management I find to be incredibly difficult in the Fallout games. Yes, like the Elder Scrolls, caps like gold can be found on bodies and in containers in the wasteland, not just from selling things, but I'll explain why it's not enough. First, I want to talk about a separate problem between New Vegas and Fallout 4, because honestly, Fallout 3 was the easiest to hold on to caps, aid supplies, and ammo. New Vegas' health system, in my opinion, is terrible. I don't like at all how each item gives you a number of health over time rather than main medical items, because food items do barely anything, and stim packs are rare. Because of the way it functions, I can never hold on to medical aid for a long period of time because it's used up in battles with multiple enemies. So the small amount of caps I come across in the wasteland are spent rather quickly on medical aid so I can survive longer and complete quests. Fallout 4 has the same problem, but with ammo rather than medical supplies, as the healing system was improved. Ammo I find on people is either not the ammo I need for my weapons, or is not enough to last a single battle, so I'm always heading back to Arturo to buy some more. And look! 36 bullets! 252 caps? Outrageous! This tightly wound system of money conservation and ammo conservation isn't fun to me. Instead, rather stressful, wondering if I'm going to run out of ammo in the next fight and have to flee for my life. And then not having enough caps to buy things I actually want to buy, like more power cores because I can't find any! It should be a natural gain of money throughout the game, not a padded grind. Things you find out in the wasteland, extra weapons, armor pieces, their selling prices are low unless you invest highly in your charisma and then speech stats, which won't get you very far in early game if you aren't strong enough to survive. Now, Oblivion system, fine. Skyrim's perhaps is a little too easy, which is kinda dumb, but I like it this way for a reason. Now, Oblivion's combines the disposition system and the speechcraft system to let you bargain for better deals, haggle your way into better prices, and makes experience a slight puzzle to work around. Despite this puzzle already being fun, you rarely need to buy anything, making money easy to hold on to. Horses in Oblivion can be costly, from 500 gold and up to 5,000. Because of the supplies, potions, armor, and weapons I find in the wild are sufficient to tide me over, this way I can save my money for new items I actually want to buy. The supplies also remain sufficient in Skyrim as they are constantly found in caves across the map, along with plenty of gemstones that can be sold for high amounts. For ammunition, arrows are always plentiful. These amounts I have are all from finding them and looting them off enemies. Money is extremely easy to earn in Skyrim through not only selling, but bounties, contracts, and tons of other jobs that allow you to buy more spells, more armor, more potions, and even houses in different towns. One of the most prominent, Proudspire Manor in Solitude for 25,000 gold, is needed to complete a quest no stone unturned. The money can be used to buy gifts for your kids if you have Hearthfire, decorations for your home. The money you earn leads to endless possibilities of stuff to buy. Without the hassle of money dragging you down, you can focus on adventuring. The post-apocalyptic wasteland in Fallout is novelty the first few times you see it, but exploring it becomes stale after a while in my opinion. Fallout 3 was my first Fallout game, so I enjoyed exploring it, and it kept me intrigued with historical and national monuments. But Fallout 4 retained the streets and highways and swamps broken down and all depressing and bland that Fallout 3 did. Fallout 4 was graphically gorgeous, but the exploration was even more bland to me than Fallout 3. Because there was a lot of destroyed mazes of cities that I hated trying to find my way around before getting shot by a group of super mutants. In my opinion, Fallout New Vegas is the worst offender of boring exploration, and it felt like it was just a vast empty desert with an occasional station or two, destroyed town, and very rarely a monument. The towns around the Strip are confusing to navigate to me, and I feel no desire to explore because I see nothing that draws me to it. Cyrodiil and Oblivion, Morrowind and the Elder Scrolls 3, and Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls 5 are all vastly different lands. The landscape of Cyrodiil is a medieval fantasy world with vibes of Lord of the Rings, an imperial capital standing proud. Skyrim presses on feelings of Beowulf and Nordic adventuring and conquest, an age long gone and painted in history. And Morrowind is a strange and magical land that displays a completely different view of anything that came after, winding paths, harrowing trees, and tall mushrooms. Each province of Tamriel is unique and different, and gives the players reasons to want to explore, find caves, brave mountains until you come across the next town, farm, or meadery. The worlds are vast and lively, Skyrim especially with the magic of animals feeling like they are actually living in this world, and living their own lives before the player came along. And every mill, farm, or tavern out in the open world having a reason for being there. You can come across so many different things, shrines, dragons, outposts, and it all draws me in, and you want to find every secret the world holds. The world of Tamriel is defined, vast, and interesting, and leaves so much to discover. Fallout does have a pretty rich lore, but there's a reason I find it less interesting than Elder Scrolls. I love history with a passion, how humans got to where we are today, preserving the positive and negatives of the past, but all Fallout offers is an alternate world timeline. Yes, it takes it to a far extreme, but still, it's an alternate timeline with countries and problems already known. From natural resources running out, leading to resource wars in the Middle East. These things from Fallout's lore are scarily real problems. including the threats of nuclear war. Fallout's lore to me feels less like a story and more like a political message and warning, which interests me less than I'd wish to admit. The games themselves simply follow the fallout of the Great War, when the bombs dropped in October 2076. The games try new things in each setting afterward, but the story never itself ties back into the lore. It's usually some sort of personal mission being sought. Find your dad in Fallout 3. Find your son in Fallout 4. Find the man who shot me in the head in New Vegas. So why should I care about the lore? The Elder Scrolls, on the other hand, has one of the most rich histories of any video game I've ever seen. Its world known as Nirn spans 6 different eras: the Dawn Era, the Merithic Era, the First, Second, Third, and Fourth eras. Different ones accessed in the games and even called upon in future installments. Hundreds of books spread across the games talking about the lore. It's a world built from the ground up and fleshed out. The Elder Scrolls 3 and 4 take place towards the end of the Third Era, the Neverine against Dagoth Ugg, the fall of Uriel Septim 7, and then the Oblivion Crisis. Elder Scrolls Online is in the Second Era, and the fall of Molag Bal. And Skyrim takes place following the Great War in the Fourth Era with the rise of the last Dragonborn. References between games are made, like Mehrunes' razor, the dagger used to kill Uriel Septim, and the mace of Molag Bal, the important Morrowind Daedric god. They can be earned in Skyrim. There are books about the Oblivion Crisis, biographies, history books. These games are steeped in lore, and it's purely fascinating how the continent of Tamriel is soaked in bloodshed and struggle. And what makes the Elder Scrolls lore even better is that you become part of it as you play. Skills in UI involves a lot of different things, so I'm going to split up this category into pieces. Looting and trading. For Fallout, looting and trading has to be split up by game. First, I'll mention that Fallout 4 has one of the best looting UIs in any game I've played. Not having to enter a separate menu is great for taking items if you need to move in a hurry. So for looting, Fallout 4 is the best it can get. When you move into trading and selling, Fallout for sure is the weaker series. I do not like Fallout's trading menu. It's organized, sure, but I don't personally like the way it's laid out. The side-by-side gets me confused at times. Sometimes I think I'm looking through their stuff and accidentally put up for auction something I wanted. Then when I want to take it back, I have to move all the way over to their inventory and press it again. On PC it's not a big deal, but on console it can be really frustrating. I do have to admit, I like how Fallout's system has a confirm deal button, so you don't accidentally sell away something you want. In Oblivion, the system is great. There's no chance of selling something you want, as there's a confirmation button, and for looting, you simply check between the container's items and your own. The separation is beautifully organized and I like it a lot. Skyrim's unfortunately allows possible accidental sale of wanted items, but you'd have to be pretty careless to make that error. At least the console menu I've used, I've greatly liked. It's categorically organized per the character/container and yourself, and in alphabetical order, allowing your items to be easily found. I think these systems are very user-friendly, and I think they function a lot faster than Fallout's. Unique systems. Fallout has the famous VATS system, Vault Tech Assisted Targeting System. It can be useful, but can also be a hindrance. For those who don't know, VATS functions off of your action points and a percentage system per body part. The higher the number, the higher chance you have to make a direct hit. Hit enough and earn a critical hit for more damage. This system is cool, but can cause problems when you're taking more shots than they are actually hitting. It's a gamble, really. It's for you to decide whether you want to risk your health and ammo, which makes it finicky and sometimes a hassle. Some may say an unfair comparison, but in terms of the two series, magic is the Elder Scrolls special system. Using your magic-o-meter, different spells can be used in many different ways, and you have many different schools. Conjuration, Alteration, Illusion, Restoration, Destruction, Powers. In Oblivion and Morrowind, there's Mysticism, and in Skyrim, you have Shouts. Conjuration does exactly as it sounds. It conjures things, from magic-bound sword to a flame atronach that defends you, and some of the conjuration spells such as Soul Trap fall under Mysticism in Oblivion and Morrowind. Alteration allows you to change things around you like an overhead light, candlelight, or seeing dead through walls. Illusion allows trickery like making enemies fight each other or for you to turn invisible. Restoration allows healing spells and wards to defend against spells, and Destruction involves flames, sparks, ice, and other harmful attack spells. Oblivion's system for magic is decent, spells work well, and the best thing is that Oblivion allows you to make spells after joining the Arcane University. Skyrim removes that, but allows double casting, that is, in both of your hands, creating many combinations for fun arcane gameplay. Skyrim also introduced rune spells that can be planted as traps that when walked into cause a certain effect. magic and its many different features and combinations make it a much better system than anything VATS can offer. I mean, you can play the entire game entirely as a mage if you aren't about physical combat. The second unique system in Fallout is weapon mods, whether a suppressor, or a sight, or a compensator, or whatever. The system is okay, but is material costly and doesn't really offer too much. Some mods offer slight damage upgrades, but not enough for me to pay attention to it for very long, or invest my time in trying to mod weapons when the NPCs I rarely find good weapons off of do it for me. The Elder Scrolls counterpart would be enchantment. Oblivion's enchantment process is long, but worth it. With access to the Arcane University, the Altar can be used, and with it you can use spells you have learned and a filled soul gem, even if not proficient enough to cast it, to enchant weapons and armor. Skyrim's system is slightly different. You can find weapons, armor, circlets, rings, amulets, etc. all over with enchantments that you can put in an enchantment table, disenchant, and learn different abilities. These abilities can give you health, stamina, and magicka bonuses, or have effects such as paralysis and burning. This system is also super unique and creates tons of different weapon combinations available that's worth fiddling with to discover something new. Skills. I'm not afraid to say that I don't like Fallout skill system straight up. The special system, strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck system is fine in itself. In fact, I'll note it's relatively similar to the class system in Oblivion. But the individual perks are my gripe. The special stats affect different perks you can get, and that's not too complicated. And maybe I wouldn't have a problem with it if it was displayed as a branching tree, kind of like how Skyrim does things. But it's displayed as a confusing list that I find annoying to navigate. The system feels disorganized and casual and friendly, as you have to read every single perk and all its tiers to know exactly what you're investing in. Oblivion's class and skill system is pretty good. You can choose a bunch of different attributes to suit your playstyle, and you can pick preset classes or make your own, again, suited to your perfect playstyle. Leveling up allows adjustment of 2-year stats, which lets you access more abilities. It's easy to understand, and that's what's best about it. Skyrim's is incredibly well done in my opinion. Firstly, when you hit a new level, you automatically get the choice of upgrading your stamina, magicka, or health stat, which is great because you for sure get stronger with every level. Each stat is clearly organized: heavy armor, one-handed, restoration. I absolutely love that every stat can be leveled by doing things, reading books, or completing that action. Each of these stats has their own branching tree of perks that you can upgrade one of with each level, so you know exactly what you're getting as a perk. Higher level perks require higher stat levels. It's well designed, user-friendly, and super easy to comprehend after a few levels. In the end, the endless combinations in playstyle, the world building, the characters, the player-friendly UI, and the exploration is what makes the Elder Scrolls franchise stand so strong today. I completely understand why the Fallout series is also as big as it is, because it does offer a different and unique take on the action-adventure RPG genre. But the roots of medieval fantasy and crazy magic fun is why I think the Elder Scrolls is the better series. I know you've probably disagreed with some things, but maybe there were some things you did agree with? Let me know below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, love to hear your feedback, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to join the Alliance today, and tell your friends. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. JRG, signing out. Bye guys.